Well, hello everyone. I'm just opening up Fanbase. Nice and quick and easy to open that, and then we'll open Twitter. Let's just open that. Miss McQueen. Welcome, honey. Twitter, let's open you up. Hiya. I'm uh I'm over on YouTube and trying to find a place for my you can hear me okay on here, Miss McQueen? Excellent. And Elle, welcome to the space, my darling.
Good morning. Thank you. Happy Friday.
Oh, yes, indeed. Indeed. Almost ready. Let's see. Twitter in there. Grand Rising, my dear Shanice. I'm streaming on StreamYard
Oh,
over.
cool. Yeah, you can stream on multiple platforms, I believe, on that one.
Yeah, that's what I'm attempting to do. So we'll see if it shows up on YouTube like it says it is. We'll see. Before we get started, me and my tardiness today. Your channel. Oh, yes, it is live. There's one person in the space. Alrighty then. Twitter is ready to go. And let us begin. Lifestyle versus situations. Now, you remember the story of bamboo. I'm trusting. But let's change the perspective. We've always looked at the bamboo, but let's look at the farmer. This is where we can get a better understanding of lifestyle. Shea butter. This is where we get an understanding of lifestyle. Because remember, we only ever looked at the bamboo. Now, for bamboo, we know it takes that 3 to 5 years before it sprouts. But that clearly tells us the lifestyle of the farmer. He is a farmer. He gets up, he plants seeds, he waters, he weeds, he fertilizes. Sonia. Every morning he gets up and he does the same thing. Plant seeds, water, weed, fertilize. That is his lifestyle. This is what he does. So if you say you want to be a farmer, that means you have to get up early, right? Get up, crack of dawn, plant, water, weed, fertilize, day in and day out. And then he has to add reaping the harvest in there. See, this is the lifestyle of a farmer. Remember that show with, what is his name? Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. You know who I'm talking about. What did he talk about? Lifestyles, meaning what? What did they do every day, all day? They got up and they did what they did. Hmm? Whatever that looks like, the lifestyles of the rich and famous. Maybe they had a maid. Maybe they had a butler. Maybe they had a chauffeur. Who knows what that particular lifestyle entailed? Right? The lifestyle of someone who is financially abundant. I told you guys this before with that 37-year-old man. when he said he was just really leisurely. He just moved through the world differently. He didn't rush. He took his time because he made enough money so that he wouldn't have to rush, right? So you begin to get an idea of the lifestyle that you want to assume. Neville Goddard calls it a state, right? It's actually the lifestyle. So if you say, you know what, the lifestyle of someone who is healthy, what do? They get up, they eat well, they move their bodies, right? And they don't necessarily complain about the pain per se, but they get up, they they go to bed early, they get up early, they move their bodies, eat and drink well. This is what that lifestyle entails. Ultramagnetic. So when you start to recognize a particular lifestyle that you would like to have, this is why you have to use your mind. You think about these things. What do you want to be? What do you want to embody? That is the lifestyle you want to take on. Now, what's the difference between a lifestyle and a situation? A situation is, oh, something just came up. How do I fix it? Right? Meaning a bill is unexpected. How do I fix that? I don't have enough money. However, if you practice the lifestyle of someone who is abundant, right? You may not be abundant physically just yet as far as cash flow goes, but the attitude is something that you can adopt. It is something you can practice day in and day out so that when a situation arises, let me put it to you this way then. I've told you before many times, I used to argue a lot. I'm a lot better now. But arguing was a lifestyle. I learned that lifestyle because I always had to defend myself as a youngster. So it was just old hat. It was just something that I did. And so every time I went through life, there was always an argument, always a stance of defense I had to take because that was my lifestyle. That was my lifestyle. I had to fight every day, right? It was my lifestyle. But now that I said, you know what? No, we're going to find a new way to live, Angela. So I made the decision and I said, look, I just want more calm and tranquility in my world. I don't always have to defend myself. I'm okay. And over time, what I've noticed is the situations of having to argue have diminished. So now that my lifestyle is becoming more calm, more at peace, I don't have to argue as much simply because of that one decision that I made. You know what? I'm not going to be arguing anymore. I'm no I'm no fool. I'm not going to throw away my energy. And the more I practiced that, because I had to get that attitude of mind. I had to say, this is enough. This is not a way to live. So the thought made me say something, and then I started to behave in a different way, act in a certain way. Of when I was presented with an argument, because that's what your body will do, it will remind you of your old way of being because it is your habit. And when it reminds you, you have two options: go with it or redirect it. You go with it and you say, okay, I'll fight, I'll argue. Or you redirect and you say, no, we practice calm here. Because you're going to assess that situation, that potential argument. You're going to assess it. It's a split second of a thing that you do. And you're like, well, that's a misunderstanding, or that's not worth my effort. You see, and then you choose. Because if you say it's a misunderstanding, you see their side, you see your side, and then when you speak, it brings reconciliation to the situation. Right? So I'm developing a lifestyle of calm instead of having to deal with daily situations. So when you adopt the attitude of, you know what, I'm going to start behaving the way I would behave if I had this kind of money in the bank. You just start to behave like that. How does that look like? Well, what kind of charities do you want to give? Do you make notes of these things? Do you want to volunteer? Do you want to carve out an hour to volunteer somewhere? Because having an abundant lifestyle means you've got free time to do the things you genuinely love doing. So make time throughout the day, even if it's 20 minutes to do your artwork, 20 minutes to practice your guitar, your drums, whatever it is you love doing, take 20 minutes and practice it because you are developing a new way of being. So when the money starts flowing in, because you'll begin to get ideas. Because I saw this video. People are talking about, gurus are telling you, oh, you you just have to imagine, you just have to pay me this much money and I'll teach you the secret and blah blah blah. And I'm looking at that like, because now people are saying, well, oh, they don't want to be taken advantage of, blah 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 blah. And so I'm like, but wait a minute. Wait a minute. When you look around in the world, you've got to make a decision. I teach you every day about the law. The law tells you the universe is a mental creation. It starts with your thought, but it does not ever leave you hanging. It says, okay, see that thought? Here's a situation that goes with that thought. And then you have to behave and act in a different way that matches that thought. It's never sit on your couch and do nothing and just pretend all day. That is not what the law does, nor what the law teaches. The law tells you you take responsibility for the way you want your life to go. You take full ownership of it because it is yours. And so when you start to develop your lifestyle versus having to live from situation to situation, you are taking full responsibility of the thoughts that you have. And you are recognizing that, no, I don't speak in this way to myself anymore. I don't belittle myself. I don't repeat the things I've heard about myself and what I'm supposed to be like. No, that is not how I live. So you start changing those thoughts and the way you speak to yourself. And what happens? You start behaving the way you want your lifestyle to be. You develop a different attitude altogether. This is what you learn to do in your lifestyle so that, you can go down the street and somebody just says, oh, look, you're in line. Oh, I'll pay for your coffee. Or I'll pay for these groceries that you got there. And you're like, and then you recognize, oh, snap. I'm training myself to walk in a lifestyle of acceptance and abundance. And all these things just start coming to you and you hear what? Oh my God, you're so lucky. No, you started to practice a different way of living instead of situation to situation to situation. If you look at it, it's a roller coaster. One day you're up, one day you're down. That's not a way to live. So choose the lifestyle or the state you want to embody, and you start to behave in that manner. Mel Robbins, the psychologist, she was saying, you have to do it every day. And I was like, and I chuckled to myself because most psychologists and psychiatrists don't know the law, but they're actually practicing the law of mentalism, where they're telling you how the body works and how to change it by way of your thoughts and your actions and the way you speak to yourself. That inner conversation is paramount. Because if you notice, I was on the phone with my girlfriend yesterday. She's awesome. We've been good friends for quite some time. We're talking decades. And she was like, I'm beginning to notice all these things that are really happening, Angela. Like I'm not having to argue or fuss. And I'm like, but that's because you recognize the old way you used to live and you decided you didn't want to live that way anymore. So now that all these things are coming in and she doesn't have to like take a stance against something, she's like, well, this I could get used to this because that's her new lifestyle. That's her new lifestyle. But then I recognized we have a way of talking ourselves out of things. Oh, we are good at that. You want something, and then you begin to say, oh, well, traffic. Oh, well, that's too much. Oh, that might not be possible. And you look at all the reasons why you can't do it. But funny enough, when you change the lifestyle, you don't think that way anymore. You don't. You just say, you just expect good to happen. Instead of some people, when they say, bad luck, right? I wouldn't have any luck if it wasn't for bad luck. They expect bad things to happen. That is their lifestyle. So they go through life dealing with unlucky situations, quote unquote. So you see, it is better to develop the lifestyle, a way of living, so that you don't ever have to stop and figure out, how am I going to come up with money today? It's month end. How am I going to do this? And every month end, you're doing the same thing. But if you adopt the attitude of how does a wealthy person behave, chances are they may have a to-do list because they're organized. And not only are they organized, but they're disciplined in their behaviors. They invest. So start looking at things you want to invest in. How do you want to invest in yourself? And the more you do that, you will be presented with opportunities, because you're not imaginary. You're right here, you're real, and you're living it. And you'll be presented with opportunities, and you'll begin to live your life in the new way you want to do it. That's why I keep saying there are no days off. When you're changing your lifestyle, you're living a new way. Right? You're living a new way. Ultra, I see that because it's so true. People say it's always something all the time. Right? Oh, it's always this. Oh, it's always something. That's their lifestyle. That is their lifestyle. It's always something. But what if you decided, you know what? I'm done with this always something. I'm done with that. I'm deciding that I want these things to go smoother, and I just want to have peace of mind. And when a situation arises that disturbs your peace of mind, you have to be disciplined to say, no, that's not what I want. But this is what I want. When you use polarity, you look at what you want to move from to what you want to move towards. And this, with that constant practice, you do it until you become it. And once you become it, well, you just can't stop doing it because that's what you are now. That's your lifestyle that you develop. And I trust that makes some sense to you today. I trust it makes sense because it is the discipline, day in and day out. And that's why I love the story of bamboo, because it shows you two perspectives, not just one. It shows you the perspective of the seed and the upcoming harvest, that you have to actually put in the work. Right? That's why I tell people, if you're going through your day and something happens, for the rest of the world who don't know the law, sometimes that thing is 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10. It's fierce. But when you know the law and you practice it, that same situation that was a 10 or 11 for someone else is a 3 for you, which means you still experience it, but it doesn't, as they say in cricket, take you for 6. It doesn't knock the wind out of you. It doesn't cripple you, but you can overcome it because of the lifestyle you've developed. That's what we're doing. Disciplining ourselves in thought, in word, and in action. This is what the law causes you to become. It causes you to become disciplined so that it doesn't matter what you are disciplined. And you don't say discipline should be okay in this area and then remove discipline from that. No, you stay disciplined because that is your lifestyle. That is the lifestyle. One of discipline, one of focus. So that manifestation is not just this thing that you can learn to do. It is a lifestyle because it is already what we do. But like I tell you, there's such a market for it. You can't go anywhere without hearing about it or buying some course about it. And that is a situation. It is not a lifestyle. That's why I teach you every day. Apply the law. Be disciplined with it. You don't give up because the lifestyle of a farmer is the same day in and day out. This is what we practice. Discipline is the key. The secret sauce is the discipline to obtaining the lifestyle that you require. Right? That's why I'm here having to learn these little things. I'm like, StreamYard. I'm like, what am I going to do with this? Right? But if you notice, it comes along with what I asked for. I said, I want to get it out. Get the law out to more ears and more lives. And so then these ideas started coming in. And what did I have to do? Implement them, use them. So you see, as I told you, the law never leaves you hanging. So if you say you want to develop a lifestyle of health, start your research. What does a healthy person do? You want to develop a lifestyle of abundance? Abundance in what? There's financial abundance. There's a healthy abundance. There's so many things. So you choose the lifestyle. This is why Neville Goddard again says to you, catch the mood. Catch the mood. What is that thing? What does that lifestyle look like? And you start to adopt the attitude of it. And then the little things that you can do to fortify. Because as Mel Robbins said, when you start to do something different, your brain looks at you and go, oh, we're learning something new. We're doing something different. And because you do it consistently, your brain says, oh, well, this is what you want to do. Well, let's make you good at it. And it becomes a habit. Well, what do we know that is? The law of mentalism, the law of correspondence, as within, so without. So you see, take the time to develop your lifestyle, and it will stop you from saying such things as, I feel so hopeless. Why am I stuck in the same rut? Why can't I accomplish anything? You see, those are real things that people are dealing with. Those are real things. Those are real things that people are dealing with on a daily basis. But if you develop the lifestyle, if you have to go find a doctor, you'll get the best team because that's what you do. You won't get someone who's flaky and give you misinformation or don't take you seriously. But because you use the law, you'll be able to see a situation, assess it, and then act accordingly. Because while you develop your lifestyle and your discipline, intuition is also being sharpened at the same time. So you see, it's multifaceted what you do. You're not just, oh, I'm going to do this thing today. Take the time Choose the lifestyle you would like to develop. This is what we do. Choose the lifestyle and you practice it. You practice it and you practice it. Because the more you practice, the better you become. How do you know this? Because it's the design of the body. Habits make you a pro at what you do consistently. You just have to choose which thing you want to be consistent in. Choose a thing that you want to be consistent with. And that is how you develop the lifestyle. The lifestyle of a fashion designer. Man, they get up and the colors that they see, the designs that they see, the inspiration that they get. Songwriters, see that lifestyle? That you're having a conversation, you're like, oh snap, that's a song. That's how they live their lives. They see a song, they hear a song everywhere. Same for writers, poets, you name it. That is their lifestyle that they've developed. So take the time today. Choose the lifestyle or the state that you want to embody. Just choose it. Nobody knows what you're choosing but you. So you choose it and you follow through with it and be faithful with it. Because in due time, you always reap the harvest. Why? Because you're planting a seed, multiple seeds even. As within, so without. So you must reap it. You must reap the benefits of it, or you must reap the disaster of it. All depends on what you're going to plant. This is why we choose consciously, in spite of where you started out in the world. In spite of where you started, you don't have to stay there. Why? How do you know you don't have to stay there? The law of rhythm tells you everything has an ebb and a flow. So if you look at your life right now, you say, you know what? I don't want to be there anymore. What lifestyle do I want to develop? And you start to research it and you look for it and you start to behave in that way and you think in that way so that you change and you change gradually. Sometimes that gradual change can take place in a week, 2 weeks, 3 months, a year, 5 years. It is irrelevant how slow one moves. Just move. Because you know everything does move. You can't stand still. Everything moves. This is the law of vibration. Right? Now I trust that that makes some kind of sense today. And the difference between a lifestyle and a situation. So you're living from situation to situation, from thing to thing to thing. Whew, that's exhausting, that roller coaster. That's why you develop the lifestyle, so that things flow beautifully. That's what you do. I'm like I said, I'm learning. What's the lifestyle of a content creator? I'm learning. Right? I have to research too and learn a new way of doing something. That's the key. We don't have to stay where we are or how we started out. If you see that there's a better alternative that you would like to accomplish, then get your mind right first, because that is the place to start. You've got to see where you are, just like the prodigal son did. This young man got up and said, Daddy, I want to have me a good time. That's what I want to do, Papa. And he said, I want my inheritance. So he got his inheritance from his father. And he went out and blew all his money, all his inheritance. And then the friends that he thought he had, he didn't have. And where did he end up? competing with the pigs, literally speaking, for food and sustenance. Until one day he was sitting in the sty with the pigs and he said, "Wait a minute. This is not for me. I don't want to be here. Not a lick of this. Even if I went back to my father's house and became a servant, I'd still be better off than I am now." So you see what he had to do? He had to recognize where he was, and he was as low as you could get. He was as low as he could get, as anyone could get. But he didn't stay there. He saw where he was, and he saw where he wanted to be. And then he made a decision. He got up and he said, "Well, nice knowing y'all. I'm going home." And he did not stop until he got there. And he was welcomed home with open arms, mind you, and given the best of the best when he got back. Because that is what the law does. The law will give you the best of the best. All you got to do is turn yourself in the direction of it. That's what we do to develop the lifestyle. Instead of sitting in the pigsty and going, "Well, how am I going to get out of this?" That's a situation. He's in a pickle, isn't he? He's in a situation. So he said, "No, go back." That's what he did. And the law causes us to do that on a daily basis, to elevate ourselves. Elevate the thought first, because that's where you've got to get yourself up mentally so the body will take the command and follow, because that is the design. And now you're on your way to developing your lifestyle by way of discipline. And then when your life begins to change, you look at it and you go, "Wow, that feels good. I'm not back there anymore. I'm here now. I'm right where I wanted to be. Now, how much more can I grow?" Because when you practice the law, you grow on a daily basis. Every day, all day. You grow, you mature, you flourish. Because that's what the law, not to give the law personality, but that's what it wants for you, because that's what it does. That is its nature. To always make you better, make you rise to the occasion. So I trust that that makes sense for you today. Right? We're no longer going to be a people that say, and I'm talking about people in the spaces that are here right now. We're not going to, the listeners, we're not going to be people that say, "Oh man, that's so hard. I can't." No, sit down. Use the law. Where are you right now? Where do you want to be? And there's steps in between. Neville Goddard calls it the bridge of incidents that gets you from to where you want to go. And the from, as soon as you recognize where you're from, and again, this is why we don't ignore the feelings or the emotions, but we examine them to tell us, where are you right now? Where am I? And where do I want to be? And you look at that, because it is polarity. It's the pendulum swinging you from to every day. And you look at it. Well, I'm here right now. Okay, I want to be over here. And then you begin to ask yourself, what must I do? Because your subconscious mind works beautifully in the fact it stores all your memories, right? So when you say to it, what can I do here? It will start to show you things. How do you know this? You know, if you've ever forgotten the name of a song and you say, "Oh man, what's that song? It's on the tip of my tongue. What's that song?" Whether it is in 2 minutes, 5 minutes, the day after, that song pops into your head and you go, "Aha." The subconscious mind was searching for it because you did what? You sent it to find an answer for you. It is a faithful servant to you, but a very poor master. very, very poor master, but a highly skilled servant. It will fetch those thoughts, those ideas for you. So use it in that way. Show me, what do I need to do here? Here's where I want to get to. What step can I take next? And the idea will come to you and you'll act upon it because you want to create a lifestyle. That is how it will help you to do it. Some people call it prayer. But remember, in prayer, one does not beg, one commands. What do I do? That's not begging. What's the solution? What's the best course of action? Show me the best course of action. You've given a command. Show me. Tell me. This is how we generate our lifestyles. Robin Leach. For those of you who were here from the beginning, you'll know why I just came out with that name. Because I told you that show, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, and I asked the question, what's the name of that man? And what did my subconscious mind do? Told me the name of the man. You see, use your greatest gift, the ability to think and the ability to speak. Use them to change your life, to have it the way you want it to be. This is not far-fetched at all. Develop the habits of the person in the lifestyle that you want. I told you before, like with Mike Tyson and us here learning how to box, just to be fit, you know. But you've got to have that, the way the body of a boxer moves, you have to learn that. You've got to get to the point where those hands don't come down from your face. You keep them up. Develop those lifestyle habits. That's what we do. And we practice them and we practice them and we practice them. So that, like I said, you don't have to look yourself in the mirror and go, oh, I feel so hopeless. The law will teach you. And you'll never have to feel hopeless again. It's just the way that you feel because you cannot see the way. But when you're shown the way, you wouldn't be hopeless. You get invigorated when you see the way. Ask, show me the way. And you'll be shown. You see, that's what I want to share with you today. Now let's acknowledge the people in the space. Fan base. Oh, we have KZU. Welcome, darling. Miss McQueen. L. Shanice. Twitter. Hi, Jeff. Luke. Shea Butter. I see you. Let's go here and see. We have Miss Sonia. Ultramagnetic. David, hello. Indigo King. Synovia. Ray of Sunshine. Oh, it is beautiful to see you. Reese. Welcome to the space this morning. Welcome to the space. I trust that what was shared makes sense. If it does not make sense, you know, ask for elaboration and I will show it to you again through the eyes of the law always. And remember, January 27th, the Q&A workshop. DM me the questions because that tells me you want to be there. And if you are a subscriber, either on Fanbase, on YouTube, in the members area, or on Patreon, it is free to attend. If not, it is simply $9. But that workshop shows us what we're doing step by step by step. I feel like new kids on the block. But you know, this The reason I do it is because I understand that we want to change our lives. And what I'm showing you is the easiest way, the path of least resistance to do it. How so? Then you still have to do the work. Then you recognize why you do the work. It doesn't become a chore anymore, but it becomes a pleasure and a privilege because now you don't have to stay where you are. So, if there aren't any questions, because it is chore day today, it's Friday. Laundry, sweeping, and mopping, oh my, right? But it's just practice. Look at where you are, because that is the law of polarity. Where are you and where do you want to be? They're the same. You're just moving yourself vibrationally from one place to the next. That's what you're doing. And the path is always made clear for you. That's why when I hear things like, the universe is punishing me, I should have learned this lesson, stop it. It neither punishes nor does it reward. It elevates and it shows you how to become. That's what it does. That's why when the Bible tells you about grace, which is unmerited favor, you didn't earn it. You can't earn the law because it is there for your betterment in the first place. Now, if that isn't unconditional love, I don't know what is. Think about that for a moment. A lifestyle of walking in unconditional love. Every day you get up, you are presented with the opportunity to rise. Every day. There was a name I didn't say, Empress Ella. Didn't say Summer Rose either. But every day you are presented with the opportunity to rise. Take full advantage of that. Take full advantage of it. And when you do that, you will recognize that you don't have time to stop and compare yourself. Oh no, this person is better than me. This person, they have more than me. You won't have time for that. Because you'll recognize that with the law, you don't need to compare yourself, because you will notice that every man acts according to his own merit. Each one of us has something within us that we develop. Mine is this, yours is that. How can they? You can't compare the two. But what are they when you put them together? That's it. They bring about a change for everyone when you put all those pieces together. That's what it is. So this morning, as we start our day, choose your lifestyle that you want to live day in and day out. Is it a lifestyle of ease and calm and peace of mind? Or is it a lifestyle of fighting and frustration from situation to situation? Choose and allow the law to teach you and elevate you. That's it. This is where we want to be on a daily basis. Well, if there aren't any questions, soul of a man. Monday, Miss Tiffany and Javion, I see you. I see you. But does that make sense, everyone? I trust that it does. Because sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming to get caught up in the world and how things are happening and unfolding. But you don't have to get caught up. Just trust every step that you take with the law, things will work according to law because they have to, because that is the law. You'll be shown what needs to be done. Always, that guidance is always there. So, there, if there aren't any questions, let us go forth today and recognize the lifestyle we would like to develop and employ the laws to do it because you can. What are the laws, you ask? Mentalism. The all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. Correspondence, as within, so without, as above, so below. Vibration. Everything vibrates between polarity, two poles. A swing to and fro. Rhythm. An ebb and a flow. Causation. Every cause has its effect, and every effect its cause. Gender. A projection of the will. Masculine. Giving life, giving form. Feminine. Those are the 7 principles that govern all creation. There aren't any exceptions. So practice them. And as I say, if you remember one, you'll remember them all because you can't separate them. And you'll do all of them. Even though you remember just one, you'll do them all. That's the beauty. See how simple? You see how simple and beautiful the law is? But we make it so hard sometimes. Oh, I don't want to practice today. I want to take a break today. Can you imagine if the law took a break? It doesn't. It just keeps on keeping on. And that's what we do. Right? Anywho, Ultra, Friday the 13th. Yes, good things all the time. Exactly. Good things all the time. That's exactly it. It's just another day. Right? So, Malik, I see you. Miss B, you're here on Twitter. Well, I trust everything made sense. If it did not, slide into my DMs and we'll talk about it by way of law. Right? That's what we'll do so that we can elevate. Yes? Elevate. All right. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Much love, everyone. Let us go forth and develop our lifestyles. There you have it. Aw, let me give some love here on Twitter Spaces because you guys are awesome. You know, Jeff, my cookies turned out really, really beautifully. And I trust if you made yours that they turned out beautifully too. Shortbread cookies, y'all. That's what it is. All right. I'm going to close Twitter. I love you guys and thank you for being here. Twitter is closed. Fan base. You guys are awesome. It's good to see you guys. It really is. It really, really is. And I want to say, I appreciate you for being here every single morning. Monday through Friday, you're always here. It's nice. And I should remember to tell you this. Nighttime guided meditation, that'll be back in February 1. And 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be bedtime. That's when I do it. If you can't make it, it'll be recorded on um, YouTube. That's where it'll be recorded. So um, I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to that because I've missed it. I mean, I do it, but I've missed hosting it for a bit. But I'm bringing it back now so that we can all participate in it. Ah, Brittany, darling, I see you. But yeah, that's coming up, and in April, I just haven't chosen a day yet, but we'll be going over the laws again. So that's why I ask that you share, share these workshops with people so that we can get more of the word out. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Learn the law, learn the laws, and then we'll do the Q&As to practice the laws, right? So that's all I'll say. And on YouTube, I see you. Ah, Nexodus. Sweet rising to you too, darling. It is good to see you. It's good to see you. And that's all I'll say today. Alrighty then, fan base. Much, much love.
Have a beautiful day.
You as well, Casey. You as well.
Have an awesome one, y'all.
You too, Shanice. You too. Fan base is closed. I see y'all still here on YouTube. Love it. There, let me just close that. I can put that iPad away. Oh, there's another comment that I missed down there. Sonia, you are so welcome. Enjoy your weekend as well. Yes, that's the joy of the weekend. Get to just kick back and relax, you know. Um, well, I'll be doing lots for the weekend. At least I think I will be. I have to bake. I want to bake some sweet bread, Sonia. Because, yeah, bake. Hey, soul of a man. I see you. But I trust that it made sense today. Lifestyle versus situation. You want a lifestyle because it is consistent. It's predictable. You know what to expect with it. But situations, what? Situations just pop up and can sometimes throw you, you know? But if you live a particular lifestyle, situations are fewer and far between and easier to manage, right? That's what it is. And so today, let us go forth and do that, right? Let's do it. What's today? What is that? Oh, oh. Ah. That was just a DM from one of the listeners on Twitter. But this is so key today that we practice developing the lifestyle so that we're not tossed to and fro at all, right? That's the key. And so always remember, Sonia, if there's any left, sure. My mother will video chat and she'll teach me. She'll show me how to. I've done it like twice, but she is phenomenal. And because every time she teaches it to me, not that I don't remember how to make it, but she's just so good. She's not even in the same space as me, and that sweetbread turns out amazing every time. Living in excellence. What does it mean to live in excellence? Break it down, because then you see which habit you've got to develop to be excellent. You see, excellence is so big. Make it bite-sized so that you can do the particular thing. Does that make sense? Excellent how? As in what aspect? See, that's what we do, right? Yes, I know it is excellence, but what does that look like? What does that mean? Because even if you say you want to live a lifestyle of healthiness, you still have to break that down. In what aspect? Healthy mind, healthy body, healthy finances, like where do you want to be healthy? And once you get specific like that, then you get to recognize which habits are needed to be developed to bring about the overall excellence, if that makes sense. See, that's why the workshop is important. So, because we break those things down so that they're more readily understood, so that when you're not overwhelmed by that word. Like sometimes we get overwhelmed by the word of forgiveness, right? Same thing here. But that's what it is. Ah, make sense? There. That's what it is, my beautiful friends. Let us go forth and look at the lifestyle that you want to develop. Just look at it and decide if that is what you want. Use the law of polarity to get you from where you are now, because you see where you are. And when you see where you are better now able to see where you would like to be. Right? I trust that makes sense today. Alrighty then, my beautiful friends. I will see you soon. Much love, everybody. Much, much love. Yes, see? Living your best lifestyle, healthy in your thoughts. Break it down some more. Healthy thoughts, how? Healthy thoughts towards yourself, healthy thoughts towards others, healthy thoughts in a particular situation. You see what I mean? By breaking it, once you break it down to its smallest molecule, now you can build from there, because now there's a thing that you will practice. If you say I want to have healthy thoughts, okay, what's that thing you've been telling yourself that's unhealthy? Okay, well, in the law of polarity, that's where you are now. You tell yourself that thing. You don't want to say that to yourself anymore, but you want to say this instead. Oh, I don't like how I behave there. So if you don't like how you behave there, from there, how do you want to behave? And then you replace one behavior with the next. So you see, when I say you break it down, that's what you do. Synovia, you are most welcome. So you choose just that one thought that's unsavory that you don't like. You know what? I don't like that one. So I want to replace it with this one. And so then you start to speak to yourself in the new way over and over and over again. You speak to yourself in the new way, because once you speak to yourself, that means you're thinking in the new way, you speak in the new way, and you act in the new way. But you must see where it is you need to come from, if that makes sense. That's what I'll say. We got to break it down to the smallest piece. It might be a little frustrating to break it down, but what you're doing is getting clarity on the situation, because it is the clarity that will show you what direction. See, we're getting more specific. Slow to anger. And then you say, anger is over here. So peace of mind is on the other side. So you begin nice. Okay, you know what? That anger. What's causing that anger? Is it just people I don't like? What's the root of that anger? Because the anger is telling you it's the effect. What's the cause? Right? So you say, okay, fine, I want to have peace of mind. I want to have peace of mind. So peace of mind. Okay. So every time you're confronted now with any type of anger, you get to choose. All right, am I going to respond here? Is this a misunderstanding? How am I going to respond here? Because I'd like to diffuse this situation. Now, does silence diffuse the situation? Or does an explanation diffuse the situation? You got to look at those two options in there. Because sometimes silence is the best way to handle a situation. Right? So now you say, okay, I can speak to that situation, or I choose not to speak to that situation to diffuse it, to maintain your peace of mind. Right? It's just a matter of practicing. Oh, there goes. I feel a little triggered. Okay. And you stop and you just breathe. And it will begin to dissipate. Like, seriously, you just hold yourself there for that moment to just calm yourself. Because you want to see the situation clearly. Because when you see the situation clearly, especially in a state of anger, then if you stay calm, you'll be able to see what type of situation it is. Does it require a response? Like if somebody cuts you off in traffic, does that require a response? You can tap the horn if you so wish. But does everything require a response? Or will silence suffice? Same for the emotional anxiety. What's causing the anxiety? Public speaking? Being in a room with people that you don't know? What's causing the anxiety? So then you can tell yourself, okay, whenever I encounter this situation that brings on the anxiety, this is the new way that I will behave. And so every time that situation comes up, you behave in the new way every time, every time, every time, because now you are retraining the body. Because remember, it stores the information. And because you've reacted or behaved in a particular way every time a particular situation comes up, your body says, "Ooh, would you like to respond the way we always have, or would you like to do something new?" And then you are in a position to tell your body, let's do this instead. I see it. That's how I used to be. But let's do this instead. Because you're not ignoring the old. It's in your face. You can't ignore it. So you recognize it. You call it out and you're like, let's go from that to this. Polarity every time. But you have to be consistent in doing it. So that over time or over practice, you will develop the lifestyle of peace of mind and calm instead of anger and anxiety. Does that make sense? Yeah, that's what you do. You want to, because it's important that you know. Like any gardener will tell you, if you're going to plant poppies in your garden, you don't want tulips in the mix. They have their own side. So when you've got to be able to see the tulip and get it out and put it where you want it to be, because you don't want it in the mix. You want this thing over here and you want that thing over there. But you've got to be able to recognize it when you see it. Don't just let it, don't just let it build every day. You're resting with your eyes closed. Ah, Zenobia. But I trust that that makes sense. This is why uh, we break it down to its smallest form, because then it's easier to manage, as opposed to if it's so big you just don't know where to start. And what happens? Ugh, I can't do this, because it begins to overwhelm you if it's too big. But if you make it smaller, this is why we take small steps. Yeah, just you break it down. And sometimes what helps me, if I can't see it right away, I get out a blank piece of paper, and on the left side, or whichever way, on one side, you write the thing you want to go from, and on the other side, you write the thing you want to go to. And in between, because you're going to have that space in between the two things, one on the left and one on the right. And when you ask, well, what's the first step? Okay. And you write that down, what that first step is right next to it. And then what's the next step? You write that down, because remember, you're doing the line, right? And you're taking steps from, and then when you look back, you should have a whole bunch of words written in between, from where you wanted to go to where you wanted to go. And in between are all the steps that you can take to get you there. Those are the steps. That helps me. That helps me to see what I'm doing, because sometimes it's helpful to see it if you're a visual person, and other times I don't need to see it. I just need to hear it. Oh, so I want to go from to this. Okay, well, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and this. Oh, look, I'm there. Yeah, that's that's what it is. All right, y'all. Let's go forth and practice. Practice. And remember, even if you can just remember one of those principles: mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, causation, gender. Even if you just remember one of them, it doesn't matter which one you remember. Do your best to remember them all, but if you remember just one, that one that you remember will take you always all the way back to mentalism, meaning changing the way you think about a thing. Because the universe is a mental creation. The all is mind. I think I'll do a workshop on the all. I think that is a worthy topic, because I say it all the time, but I don't think we get it. But the all is absolutely beautiful. The all truly, truly is. We'll get there, though. Good. All right, my beautiful friends. Much love. And again, you can always slide into my DMs. You know where to find me. And we'll examine things further through the eyes of the law always. Much love.